Hello, good afternoon. This is our final presentation about our integrity project. We are from Mechatronics Third A, and our team is conformed by
María Fernanda Ortiz Estrada,
Ángel Uriel Salcido Reyes,
Gisela Alexandra Sandoval Loyola,
Jesús Alejandro Valles Mendoza,
and me, Jesús Sebastián Domínguez Aguilar.
our integrity project is a CAN disorder. Why we choose this project? We choose this project based on the needs of various traders when it comes to sorting their products, as in most cases it takes a lot of time and money in labor. We conduct a survey where it indicates that 82% of people will use an automated process of this type. Our original idea was the photo on the left, but during the process changes were made, such as the different design of the tubes where the switch falls, the shape of the container, the length of the zipper, and the addition of a round where the boxes fall with switches already ordered. And this is how the classifier is physical observed. Now we're going to know the components that were required for its elaboration.
Okay, we have the components. The first, the wood was used in the structure of the band. The base of the band is made of wood. PLA filament is one of the most popular and widely used 3D printing materials for 3D printer. PLA was used to print some components. The PVC tubes were used to store candies. Next, please. Okay, the acrylic was used to cover the tubes where the candy falls. Cardboard is used for the candy wrap. The ultrasonic sensor, as the name implies, ultrasonic sensor measures distance through the use of ultrasonic waves. The head emits an ultrasonic wave and receives the reflect wave and returns from the object. The ultrasonic sensor works to detect the box and to drive the conveyor belt. A stepper motor is an electromechanical device that converts a series of electrical pulses into an angular displacement, which means that it's capable of rotating a number of degrees. Depending on its control inputs, these motors are for turning the conveyor belts. Next, please. Servo motors are controlled by a sending a variable width electrical pulse or pulse width modulation. Through the control cable, the servo motor expects to see a pulse every 20 milliseconds, and the length of the pulse will determine how far the motor rotates. These servo motors were used to drive the rack system for the sorter. DuPont cables, they were used in the programming of the project.
and telephone cable. Well, they were used for the connections. And Arduino Uno and Mega, well, they were used in the programming of our project. The paint is the color of our project. Bearings, well, this device is mainly used to reduce the friction between a shaft and the transmission elements that are connected to it, and were used to facilitate the rolling of the belt rollers. Conveyor belt. Conveyor belt is a system and consists of two or more pulleys with a closed circuit of the transport medium to conveyor belt rotating around them. Sensor color, is a type of photoelectric sensor and that emits light from a transmitter and then with a receiver detects the light that is reflected from the sensing object. A color sensor can detect the received light intensity of the colors red, blue, and green, respectively, and which allows to determine the color of the target object and detect color of our switch. Funnel, well, is a conical glass or plastic container used in the laboratory to pass liquids or chemicals. In our case, they are sweet, and we used to store sweets and candies or product to classify.
Production cost. Uh, we already have some of the components we need them, and we can see in the table below. We have some components, their costs, the place where they were obtained, being the starting place, a place where most the components were bought, having a total cost of 3,070. Next, please. Mechanics. Mm, Next, please. The equation according to the mechanics, we calculate the torque that the van motor was making, so we know that the motor was not being forced. And the next, this is the torque, the second van, mm, as well as the spec and which the van could go. Next, please. The individual mechanical functions were the tuning of the van that uses two stepper motors per van and proximity sensor. The zipper system were a stepper motor in use for stepper, a zipper, and the candy sorted that use a stepper motor to the revolving servo motor and the color sensor.
Well, now we have the programming. So this programming is the largest program, and it's on the Arduino Mega. And for this program, we are controlling two stepper motors by a presence sensor. So this will be the one that incorporate and remove the boxes from the band. And in addition, we have two other stepper motors that, thanks to an ultrasonic sensor, it will detect when they are and if it's approaching, and will begin to rotate the second band. And then we have the color sensor and sorted programming. The color sensor is responsible for measuring a color range from the candies, and based on this value, it's gonna move the stepper motor and also a servo motor to its respective container. And then we have the main band and servo programming that after the first zipper system have done his job, this gonna be moved thanks to the signal from the presence sensor. And also when the boxes are under the containers, the servo motors that are below of the containers will be open from that the candies can fall to the boxes. And after that, it's gonna keep moving.
And this is how a candy sorter works.
It was our project, and thanks for watching this video.